wanted to say, Harry, if his thumbs up? That's got to be the noisiest conveyor ever. So I'm just having a clear up.
Oh no, why not editing this bit out, David? Well, firstly, to me it's a satisfying thing to do, and that's important. It's a minor win, that's all good. So, below 25s also seem to think everything tidies itself up and cleans itself. It doesn't, believe me. It'd be nice. Really, using it is the easy bit. It's the servicing the item, the cleaning the item, and putting it away. And you have to do that with pretty much every bit of kit you've got, or machines, or whatever it may be.
So we had these rolls out yesterday. They don't look great, do they? We swapped out, oh god dear, we swapped out all the rear pipes, all the more intricate ones, but these ones looked okay at the time, but I don't know what we were thinking. That was madness. Anyway, it hasn't popped, so I'm going to treat that as an omen. I'm going to get them swapped out. When your rolls have got this much greenery growing on them, does it make them environmentally friendly? I've got all the power tools. I've gone back to the spanners. It's very early April. I thought it was spring, but I think it's more spring showers now. I'm just reconditioning some wheat. We had some pedestal fans not actually work. We thought they were working, but they tripped out. And this 25-degree wheat from harvest, we thought was all down to heat. But these two pedestals got missed. And it's sweated and sort of made it goopy at the bottom of the shed. Of course, when you scoop it with a bucket, it's horrible. So I'm having to put it through the dryer. Or over a filter to filter this goop out. We do temperature smear the wheat, but we don't do it every small meterage, so you block temperature smear, and yeah, it makes you realise you perhaps should do it a bit closer. So it's a bit of a kerfuffle doing all this. There we are, because it's coming out the bottom of the bucket now. It's not really another nice way of doing it. it's good to get it dry wound up to make sure I keep it shined up, keep all the motor contacts good. None of this electrical kit likes being sat. It never did like harness. So here you can see it stuck on the back wall. So behind that black bag is timber, but there's gaps in the timber, so ultimately it sweats against the black sheet. So I kicked myself a bit for this. So this is my sieve. So that's a belt conveyor. I think it's an American conveyor. It's quite good because it's covered and it's pretty quick. It doesn't like much of a slope. Put it into a bin, which it came second hand with a dryer. 32-ton bin, 18-ton dryer. So you can get 3 batches in the evening in harvest or in the morning in harvest. And it largely looks after itself. You know, it dries the crop, empties itself, fills itself 3 or 4 times if you've got capacity. Really bit of kit. And really good service actually. Also for the unfamiliar, because of the auger effect, it has a really great sort of polishing effect. I mean, this is a clean sample of wheat anyway, but with the auger effect it sort of just makes it shine, it radiates it. In 2012, when we had that low bushel year, was it 2013, we had to put everything over a dry, and we wore the old Opco one out. We wore the auger and tube out in that winter, just for the amount of polishing we had to do to make the sample an acceptable specific weight.
So we're in the seed store and we are doing 200 tuber counts so we can make sure the seed goes as far as we think it does. So we're going to count 3 lots of 200 out, weigh them, and then we can work out the 200 tuber weight, and then we can work out the 50 kilogram tuber weight. And I need to get it done because it's so cold in here. So there's 100 tubers in each basket. We'll add them together to get the 200 tuber count. 1348. Did you get that? So I've had to edit my own voice out, but this is land coming sugar beet, and we're just trying to turn a silk purse into a sow's ear. Or is it a sow's ear into a silk purse? One way or the other. It looks good here, but it's going to dry quick and it's going to clod out. I know it is. So here's Paul is getting some pea seed in the drill. So we'll get 3 of these bags in each time, and they really don't last long between filling. Really pumps them through. So there's a lot of filling to do. Take all the rest of these pea seed bags over to Paul in the drill. And so this is a Sears bag lifter. Bloody well built bit of kit. I ordered this and it came a week and a half later. Really good value, really well built.
good company to deal with. We've got a hydraulic side shift option because all the bags we handle tend to be, frustratingly, a little bit different width requirements. So the one I made, which was in a previous video, is good for certain jobs but hopeless at others. So hopefully this will make it all a bit easier. So we had the old 530 JCB, the old S or T reg thing, and it was noticeably handier than the big one. So I thought, well, I'll go smaller and have it even handier again. And when I saw Ollie Harrison had bought his Mini Merlot, I thought, blimey, that is getting seriously used. So I thought, maybe onto something. So I went little. Interestingly, in Farrell's they had a 144 Kramer, which has got to be the sweetest low door you can ever see. It's literally the size of a bobcat, you know, one of these little skid steer things. And it was epic. It's just a case of finding a job to do with such a little machine, but oh, it's so sweet. So the peas are in, nicely on into the moisture, and then we'll roll it very quick actually. This blimey is blowing today. enjoyed the week on the farm. If you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe. Catch you on the next one.